Ukraine makes opposition to the EU and NATO illegal. Kiev introduces dual citizenship for Western lobbyists. Victory Day holiday to be replaced with Europe Day in Ukraine. These are the stories we debunk for you this week. They are all from one of the most prolific fake factories in Russia, Ukraina.ru. This is StopFake, the place where we set the record straight on fakes about Ukraine, and I'm your host, Paul Niland. So let's get to it. Opposing Ukraine's political course of EU and NATO integration will now become illegal. Even thoughts about an anti-European course will be considered unconstitutional, claims Russian propagandist site Ukraina.ru. Responding to amendments to the Ukrainian constitution President Poroshenko recently signed. These amendments outline Ukraine's foreign policy objectives of EU and NATO integration. Opposing this course will be a violation of the constitution, apparently. Even thinking this will become sedition, Ukraina.ru quotes Russian Senator Konstantin Kozychov. Mr. Kozychov is not telling the truth, and the entire Ukraina.ru story is hogwash. On February 7th, an overwhelming majority of Ukrainian parliamentarians enacted a law which declares EU and NATO membership to be Ukraine's national strategic objectives. President Poroshenko signed the law, amending Ukraine's constitution. European Council President Donald Tusk was present during the signing. The new law, which came into force on February 21st, changes the preamble to the Ukrainian constitution, introduces an article about Ukrainians' European identity, and provides a framework for legislative efforts towards achieving the democratic and social standards necessary for Ukraine's full-fledged membership in the European Union and NATO. All references to the presence of foreign troops on Ukrainian territory were removed from the constitution. This item in the Ukrainian constitution allowed Russian troops to be legally based in Crimea, thus contributing to the peninsula's occupation and annexation by Russia. The new law does not prohibit freedom of expression, nor does it outlaw anti-European sentiments. On February 27th, pro-Kremlin site Ukraina.ru declared that Ukraine had introduced dual citizenship. The publication immediately accused Ukraine of adhering to a double standard, as this alleged dual citizenship would be granted only to Western lobbyists. The publication cites Ukrainian Foreign Minister Pavlo Klimkin, who said that dual citizenship would allow foreign experts to help Ukraine carry out reforms, as was done in 2014 to 2018, when Georgian, American and Polish citizens were granted Ukrainian citizenship so they could assume cabinet posts. During a briefing in Odessa on February 26th, Minister Klimkin said he believed dual citizenship was needed and would allow qualified professionals to work in Ukraine. Klimkin stressed that a dual citizenship law must clearly define eligibility. He also said that dual citizenship arrangements could exist only with Western countries and never with an aggressor state such as Russia. In an extensive interview with the censored.net Ukrainian news site, Klimkin explained that a dual citizenship law requires political consensus. There are many Ukrainians in Canada, the US, Australia who are ready to work in Ukraine if dual citizenship was introduced, and we are losing thousands of people by not having such a law, he pointed out. Minister Klimkin has spoken about introducing dual citizenship in Ukraine for some time. Each time he brings the subject up publicly, pro-Kremlin media react with an avalanche of fakes. Last November, StopFake debunked one of those fakes, which claimed that Ukrainian citizens who also have Russian passports would have to surrender them to the authorities, otherwise they would be rooted out. As part of a national campaign to eradicate all Soviet holidays, Ukraine wants to replace Victory Day with Europe Day, declared the same pro-Kremlin site Ukraina.ru last week. Attacks on holidays are continuing for the last 3 years. Nationalists are trying to rewrite the history of Ukraine according to new ideological guidelines. Victory Day and International Women's Day are singled out for particular repudiation, writes Ukraina.ru. As its source for this claim, Ukraina.ru cites Expert, a Ukrainian business website, which published a short news item on February 18th about a bill introduced in Parliament to establish a new European Day holiday in Ukraine. In May of last year, a draft bill was registered proposing a new holiday. Europe Day would be added to the existing May 9th Victory Day holiday, allowing Ukrainians to celebrate Europe Day on the same day as European Union countries. Europe Day is celebrated on May 9th. Victory Day, a Soviet holiday commemorating victory over Nazi Germany in World War II, also falls on May 9th. Celebrating Europe Day in Ukraine on the same day as other EU countries would demonstrate the commonality of European integration values, a common vision of the past and future of our continent, reads the explanatory memo to the draft bill. The bill does not propose to cancel or annul Victory Day. It simply proposes to commemorate two holidays on the same day. The Parliamentary Document Analysis Department presented its assessment of the proposed bill last September. The department points out that Europe Day and Victory Day have been celebrated on different days in Ukraine, and the nature of each holiday is different. While there are no legal obstacles to passing the draft law, celebrating in one day holidays with such divergent natures is inexpedient, the assessment concludes. Who knows when, if ever, this bill will become law. That's it for this week. You can find much more dissected information on the StopFake website. Be vigilant, look out for fakes, and if you spot any disinformation about Ukraine, forward it to us for a truth autopsy. I'm Paul Niland, and this is StopFake. Thanks for watching.